Hi, my name is Jason Van Veldhuizen. I've been involved in martial arts for over the past 17 years, and I'm a former competitive amateur boxer, now turned boxing coach. And in this video, what I want to break down for you is all the tools and techniques in boxing footwork, everything from A to Z. And not only do I want to break it down in such a way that you have a clear understanding of these tools and you know how to apply them and know how to use them, but I want to break down when and how you can use them in different situations in boxing, in your sparring, and your fighting. So to kind of give you an idea of when is the best time to take these tools and put them together and use them as a part of your boxing repertoire. And the other thing that I want to do in this video is give you an idea of how to train for boxing footwork. So to make boxing footwork a more natural part of your game, so you integrate it with your punching and your defense and other techniques that you have at your disposal. We're going to go over some different strategies and ways that you can enhance your boxing footwork to take it to the next level. And another thing that we're going to go over as well, or that I want you to take away from this video, is that if you're involved in Thai boxing or mixed martial arts, you're going to see that there are similarities in footwork across the different types of martial arts and across these different sports. So if you're involved in Thai boxing, mixed martial arts, hopefully you can take some of the techniques that you see in this video, make adjustments, adapt them to your game, and allow that to take you to the next level. Okay, so I hope in the next little while you can get the most out of this boxing video and these techniques. Thanks for watching. Alright, so the first thing we're going to go over is stance. And stance is very important because it establishes your balance. And it also is the position that all of your techniques are going to come out of. And when you're finished with those techniques, it's the position you're going to land in once those techniques are complete. And why this is important is because your footwork is your gateway to moving towards the target, towards the object that you want to strike. And also it's your gateway to moving away from danger, to moving out of the situation. So in any kind of gym or training studio, you're going to go over the basics of stance. We'll just go over some of the basics, and then I'll cover a few pointers that I think are very important. Okay, the first thing about your stance is that the heel of your back foot should be in line with the toe of your front foot. So both your feet being at 45 degrees, if I have my feet set up, I should be able to draw a straight line from my toe back to my heel, just to give me a little bit of space. The way to look at it also is if I'm standing here, I have a natural shoulder width. When I get into my stance, I still have a natural shoulder width. Okay? From here again, take your knees, slight dip, bend in the knees, back foot ready on the ball of the foot. So you can move, so you're a little bit more flexible to drive forward and side to side. One thing that's important about stance, which is being missed in some boxing gyms these days, is the weight transfer. Ideally, you want to have more of your weight towards the back foot, the back leg, right here. Even if it's just a little bit, even if it's 55% on the back leg, you need that back leg to drive forward, to move yourself out of position, to move around. So when you're in your stance, if you're leaning forward, take that weight, shift it to the back leg. Okay? Hands, elbows resting in front. Okay, be careful of resting them on the side or too much on the side, leave yourself open. You're going to rest your hands on the front. Your hands are going to relax, knuckles up, right just above the corners of your mouth. Chin down, looking through the furrow of your brow at your opponent. Last thing that's very important in your stance is to have a good depth and bend in your knees. If you want to enhance your footwork, one of the key things that you should do is train with just a little bit extra depth, just a little bit more bend in your knees. When you're too tall like this, you lack the mobility, you lack the flexibility to move. So taking that little extra dip, bend in your knees, it's a little bit tougher on the legs. Getting down there is going to give you a little bit more ability, a little bit more range of motion, and more power coming out of the legs. Okay? So again, final stance. Weight slightly on the back foot, on the ball of the foot. Elbows in, right in front of the rib cage. Hands up, just above the corners of your mouth and your cheeks. Chin down, looking through the furrow of your brow. Body at 45 degrees, and you're set. So we're going to go over basic forward movement and backward movement and side-to-side movement. And this is the fundamental type of footwork you learn in boxing. But one of the interesting things is that once you get going, once you get yourself up to speed, in a way it's one of the types of footwork that you'll use the least, that it really has more of a transitionary type of application. But we're going to go over it anyway because it's the fundamental setup for all other techniques coming out of your footwork. Okay? So once you're in your stance, moving forward, whenever you move forward, one of the key mistakes that a lot of beginners make is they strike with their heel. When you strike with your heel, basically you're out of position and you don't have any way to move and and react until that ball of the foot hits the ground. So from here, whenever you move forward, you're going to land with the ball of the foot first. Ball of the foot steps. I step with the ball and catch up with the back leg. Ball and catch up. Okay? If I'm going to go backwards, same thing with the back foot. I step back, the ball of the foot will naturally land. It's kind of just the way the human body is built. Your ball of your foot will naturally land and bring the front foot back equidistant, the same type of distance that you move. So from here again, if I go forward, I step with the ball of the foot, I catch up. If I go backward, I step with the ball of the foot, I catch up. I'm in the same position, the exact same position I started, my stance. Forward, back, forward, back. And basically what you're doing here is you're just dropping your weight, letting yourself relax as you move. Forward, back, forward, landing with the ball of the foot. Same thing going left and right. Left is almost like going forward. You're going to move your left foot. Left foot steps, right foot follows in. Left foot steps, right foot follows in. You're in the same position. Moving to the right, same thing. Right foot goes on the ball of the foot. Left foot comes in. Right foot on the ball of the foot. Left foot comes in. So you can see that any direction you move, if you're moving forward, front leg moves first. Moving backward, back leg moves first. If I move to the left, left leg goes. I move to the right, right leg goes. And every time I move, the leg that's trailing catches up the exact same distance. So just again, forward, I step forward, back, back, landing with the ball of the foot so that I have reaction. I land with the ball, I can react, I can move. If I land with the heel, I'm stuck until this ball lands. So forward and backward, left and right. And basically what you're going to do when you want to apply this, it's mostly going to be between in techniques when you're moving or walking down an opponent, or just to control the distance between you and your opponent. Okay, so the next level of the four-way directional stepping, and in the footwork that you're going to use more often, is the push step. It's a drive off the leg, moving in the direction you're going. And this is where you need that four-way basic to kind of set you up for this. This is the stuff that you're going to apply right when you're near your opponent, or when a situation occurs where he attacks you, or you have to attack back at your opponent. So the basic one moving forward is the push off the back leg. Here I am, I'm in my stance. Okay, so instead of just walking forward, I'm going to drive. Forward, step forward and drive. Back foot, push. Okay, and you usually use that to set off a punch. Okay, sometimes you can use it just to push in to get close to your opponent, but basically you're going to use it off of your punch and drive. Okay, off the back foot. Same thing when you want to move out. If you're controlling distance just to keep a little bit of space, you can use your casual step back walk. But most of the time when your opponent attacks, if he's coming at you, you're a little bit quicker if you use a push off the front foot. So from here, instead of just walking back, you're going to push. Just a little push off the front foot. If the opponent's coming at you, you push. Okay, coming at you, you push. And then you come back. Push off the front foot. Here. Just a little bit of a push. Make sure with this that you don't bring your weight up. Okay, weight stays nice and relaxed. Keeping your stance. Comes at you. Okay, push off the back foot, push off the front foot right here to give yourself a little more space. Same thing side to side. You're walking down your opponent, moving side to side. That's fine. Cutting off the ring, you use that kind of footwork. However, when you want to create space quick, create an angle, it's much more effective to step off. And this is not easy at first going side to side. You have to get your balance right in the center so you can feel the push. If my opponent is coming at me, and I want to move to the right, I push off of the left foot. Push off of the left foot. Push. And then I can set up an angle. Off the left foot, I push. And then I can set up an angle. Same thing going the other way. I push off the right foot. set up an angle. Take the right foot, my balance is comfortable, and then I set up that step off to the side. Step to the left, okay, turn into that shot. Left, and then turn into that shot. So again, forward directional moving, instead of just using the walk down, every now and then, you're gonna take a little push. Give yourself a quick distance, come back with a counter attack, or just create space, and then see what you wanna do so you can move. Alright, so the next step we're going to go over is the pendulum step. And when I first showed up at the boxing gym from years of martial arts training, I was a little bit flat on my feet, and my coach was always on me about working this pendulum step in the midst of my boxing. And you might get some guys criticizing you because they say you're bouncing around and wasting energy. And the thing about this pendulum step is it's not something that you're doing all the time and you're fighting and you're sparring. You're using it in your training so that you can get some springiness and elasticity out of your feet and keep your feet and your body in a situation where you can react quickly, and always have yourself ready so that you can spring either way at any moment. Now the pendulum step really is just a high energy derivative of a forward and backward movement. So if I'm in my stance and I move forward and I move back and forward and back and I start rocking like this, now you see I got my pendulum step, okay? Here's my pendulum step. And I don't want to stay all day sparring like this, but if I'm training, if I'm on the bag, I want to use my combos, boom, 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 set as I throw, and then get back to my pendulum step. You'd be surprised how much this is going to help your conditioning and your endurance when you're in fighting and sparring situations, how much it's going to enhance your conditioning in the gym overall, so you can put in those extra rounds on the bag, throw those more punches, and do that little bit extra at the end of the workout to take you to the next level. So again, from here, you're on the balls of your feet, okay? You're in your stance, rocking back and forth. Of course, you can still throw techniques off of here. Okay, moving around. Okay, keep that springiness going. Okay, keep that rock going back and forth. Always having your feet moving. Keep yourself lively. Mobile boxing. Okay, gives you the advantage over your opponent. You can always settle down if you want. If you want to walk your opponent down, conserve a little bit of energy, that's fine. Train to condition yourself for the bounce. Pendulum step is key to your boxing. So next we're going to go over lateral motion, and this is one of the first things you should be learning from your coach in the gym to get you on your way to boxing mobility and boxing footwork. And basically what it is going from your set position, moving side to side, and resetting back into your position in the most efficient way possible. But not only do you want to use it so that you can set and move and reset, but you're going to use this lateral motion type of footwork in a number of different situations that really apply to your sparring and your fighting. One of the most common ones is when you get in a fight, you're in a fight, and right off the bell, the guy comes out flying, and he comes out flurrying at you, and he's hell-bent on knocking you out. And you don't want to, if you're a skilled boxer, you don't want to trade with this guy. You want to move around, weather the storm, and settle the match down more to a measured pace. And then that way, you as the skilled boxer can start to pick apart your opponent. So one instance you're going to use this lateral motion and reset is when you're on the run. Second time that you kind of use this is when maybe you've taken an 8 count, or maybe you've been knocked down and you need to get your legs back. And you really don't want to get involved in any action, you don't want to take any shots, and you don't want the ref to think that you're done for. So you need to show that you're mobile, that you can move around without having to take any shots, and without having to get involved in the action at all, too much. And the other time that you sometimes use this kind of footwork is if you're sparring a slow opponent and you just want to be able to get away from them, try to get them to waste energy chasing you down. Once they get close to you, boom, 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 then you throw your combos, pick them apart, and then you're on the run again. Anytime you can get an opponent to think that it's very difficult to get to you, he's going to take more risks to get to you. And in taking those risks, he leaves himself open for more shots. Okay, so let's go to the demonstration. Okay, so for lateral motion, you're in your stance, hands are up, you're going to move to the right. All right, there are a couple ways to do this, but the most fundamental way is you're going to step forward with your right foot. You're on the balls of your feet facing forward. You don't want your feet out, this gives you a little bit less mobility in your hips, and also doesn't give you as good of a spring with your balls to the feet on the floor. So here, from this position, you're going to step forward and then hop into the right. You're going to stop with your outside foot. Whenever you want to reset the position, you stop with your outside foot, bring the left leg forward. Now you're in position. Boom, boom, boom. You can throw your combos. Now if I want to go back, I take the left leg, bring it back. Hopping to the left. Always stopping with the outside foot. It's the quickest way. Stop, set. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, another side, going to the right. Right foot comes forward. I move. And one key to this is that your feet don't come together. And you always want to keep a little bit of space so that your feet aren't together. If you get hit, you don't lose your balance. Okay, have a little bit of wind so that you have some balance. I stop with the outside foot, the right foot going to the right. Left leg comes forward, and here I am. So a little bit quicker. I move. Bum, bum, bum. You can always throw the jab off of this. Jab. Boom. Back. Boom. Now you don't even have to reset. You can just move laterally. Laterally. Also your ducking comes out of here. All your lateral motion, set, boom, boom, boom. Lateral motion, set, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so for this lateral motion, a quick demo of how you're going to use it in a real situation, the type of speed and movement you're going to need. So a variation on the lateral motion is crosswalking, and what lateral motion gives you is the speed and the mobility, but the downside is that you have to reset. While you're moving lateral, you're not in position. So with crosswalking, you don't have as much mobility, but you're in position all the time. You're in position at all times. Basically, when you're crosswalking, your toe is going to face the center line of your opponent. You're going to be right down, splitting your opponent down the middle, and when you move laterally, you're going to keep that foot in front. Same type of thing that you do with the basic footwork, right, left, but with a little hop, and really focus on keeping that foot in front. If I move, I'm set right away. I don't have to step in to get set. I don't have to step back to get set. As I move, here, keeping that foot in front. Keeping that foot in front. Always ready. Crosswalking. It allows you to stay in an offensive position while still being mobile. Okay? It takes a little bit of time to get used to. Keep that foot in front and just work on it. Throw your combinations right out of that position. So next we're going to go over quarter turns, and basically what quarter turns allow you to do is get out of the line of fire. And you can use quarter turns to just basically get out of trouble as quickly as possible, or you can use them to get out of the line of fire to set up a counterattack. The other thing that you can do is use quarter turns off of your attack to set up a second and third attack. So we're going to go over the basics of how to do a quarter turn on the bag and some of the variations of the quarter turn. Okay, quarter turns. Basically with the quarter turn, you're trying to get out of the line of fire. So watch my body. As my opponent comes towards me, even just turning out, I'm out of the line of fire. I haven't even moved my foot. With the quarter turn, you want to make sure you have a firm heel. Your heel leads the way to keep your balance. You don't want to have a lazy foot coming after the fact. So good technique, crisp heel. When I turn, I don't even have to step. I just turn. Turning alone will get you out of the line of fire, provided you should keep your hands up for added defense. If I need extra space, I step. Okay? You can also use the quarter turn off of moving backwards. I move backwards, and then take a quarter turn out. I buy myself some space, and then I get out to the side. This is for the defensive quarter turn to the outside, right, or to the left. If I want to use a quarter turn offensively, the key is to step in with it, step forward with it. So if I'm here on my opponent, boom, 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 attacking, he's up against the ropes or I've got him in his spot. If I want to get inside with the quarter turn, I don't want to just step right here. I'll be too far, barely reaching this guy. Maybe I'll hit his shoulder. So from here, I'm throwing combos, boom, boom. I step inside, into him, and turn. And here I am, boom, boom. And then I'm going to set up my shot. Okay? Here he is. I'm going to move in, boom, 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 boom. I step into him, throw my combo. A little bit from this side, quarter turn to the left, boom, boom, boom. I step inside. If he's coming towards me, I can quarter turn out. Then I take a step with the left foot and line up that shot. Without the bag, I quarter turn out, let the punch go by, I take a step, boom, and I can throw my combo. One more time, I turn out, take a step. I can also do this off of the step to give me a little more space. Take a step, step with a slip if I want, turn. Take a step, turn. And this is the quarter turn to the left. Now quarter turn to the right side, or sort of an inside turn. It's going to bring you closer to your opponent, so you have to be careful of that. Your body's moving towards your opponent. My opponent has attacked me, I block some shots, I step right through, right into him. Be careful, you're not trying to get around your opponent. You're just going to cut, step right through, and set up your shot. My opponent comes towards me, I step through. And then I'm going to set up my combination. Quarter turn to the right, again, right from my position. I just step through. Good position, good balance, and then can set up my shots from there. Okay? Quarter turns are really key to good boxing. You're on the ropes, and you want to get off the ropes. Turning out, stepping off. Okay? Your opponent is up against the ropes, and he's covering, and you want to get an angle on him. You step in, boom, 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 create that angle. Step into the left. Step into the left. And create that angle with quarter turns. Once you start applying quarter turns to all various aspects of your boxing, offense and defense, you're going to find yourself getting hit a lot less and finding yourself setting up more shots, keeping your opponent guessing, and taking your boxing to the next level. Okay, so a small variation off the quarter turn, or a way to get an angle, is a switch step. And you're going to use this primarily when you're on the inside, or when you've tracked your opponent down, he's up against the ropes, or he's stopped in place, and you've got him right there. Now, sometimes opponents like to stay there, they like to lay on the inside and trade with you, but you don't really want to be in front of what they're throwing, you're going to move to the side. So you're going to do a little step off, and you don't see it that often in boxing. You can see it used by the pros now and then. It's a small step, and you just got to be careful not to take your feet off the ground too much. So I'm on the inside, working with my opponent, boom, covering. If I want to step out to the left, I'm going to take my right foot, step it in, just a small little step, my left foot out here, boom. And now I've created a small angle. Now his left arm over here is entirely useless. I've moved over to his right side. So again, I'm going to take a little step, boom. Really how it looks is a little shift hop. If I do that, I set up, boom, boom, boom. I'm on the inside, a little hop. Just a small little hop to take you out of the line of fire. And that's the switch step to the left. If I'm going to do a switch step to the right, it's the same thing going the other way. I step in with the left foot, twist my body as I step on the right leg, and now I've created an angle on this side. A small little step. Here. I'm on the inside with my opponent. Take a small step out. I'm on the inside, small step out, just to set up another shot. Okay? Get yourself out of the line of fire and create angles. And you can do more than 2 in a row or 1 in a row. If I step out to this side, boom, boom, I can step out again, boom, boom, and then I can get out where it's safe. So every now and then when you're in your sparring, fighting, try to work the switch step. Work it on the bag as a drill. Pound the bag, this right foot stays center. I set up, I switch positions. Switch. Work that as a drill, so you can get it as a habit, and then when you're sparring, you work your combination, pick your side, boom, 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 and then get out. So let's go over moving backwards while you're boxing. We've already covered the basic transition back and the push-off, and these are essential to moving backwards so that you get out of the way of your opponent's attack. The thing that you want to be careful of when you're moving backwards is you never want to make it a habit to move straight back. You see a lot of beginner boxers do that. They move back, and soon their opponent figures out that they only move straight back and then just runs them over. So your backwards movement has to be either part of you just becoming safe for a quick second, or you setting up a counterattack, or you getting out of the way so that you can start fresh. Okay? So again, moving backwards. If I want to just create a little bit of space, I have an opponent who's not very aggressive, he's on the outside, you can just take your backwards leg and just create a little bit of space. Make sure your hands are high, backwards leg, you can always come right back in. Okay? Even moving your head is moving backwards, that's the least of all effort. Moving the back leg gives you a little more space. So right here, opponent is moving around, throwing shots at me, just going to take a quick step back. If I want to create a little more space, I can either take the full walk back or push, as we've already covered. Push. Opponent comes in, push. Opponent comes in, then you counterattack. But if you want more room, especially if the opponent is throwing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, coming in with, jab, cross, left hook, you're going to have to create a little more space so that you can counterattack. Couple techniques, one you see Mayweather use all the time, is just a quick hop off the back foot. So from here, weight is on the back foot, just hop. Boom, boom. Gives you just a little bit more room than you need. Here you are moving, hop. Okay, give you a little more space. Moving, hop, and then you set up. If you want even a little more space than that, you do the hop with a step first. Step hop, and there you go. In position, step hop to give you a little more space, boom. Step hop, you can roll a shoulder, counter, and do whatever you want based on the situation. But one thing that's very important is that when you're moving back, you have to create, and you want to get out of danger, you have to create the angle. You can't just move straight back and expect that everything's going to be fine. Once you move back here, you're going to quarter turn out and create the angle to go off to the left. Or if I move back, I'm going to shift to the right and start to go to the right side. So again here, whatever way you choose to move back, if you want to get out of danger, take that step back a couple steps and then get yourself out with a quarter turn and come around and set up a new angle. Or you can move to the right, step back, drift off, create a new angle, and then come in with the reset. Okay, so next we're going to go over a shuffle step, and this is a technique I use a lot in boxing, especially when I'm trying to jab my way in on the taller opponent. Basically what you're doing with the shuffle step is you're stealing space, you're stealing a little bit of ground, and you're trying to get in on your opponent and deceive him in terms of how far away you are. So this works best often off the double jab, or I can throw a jab and move my head. So here's an example. If I'm going to go in on my opponent with a double jab, the classic way to go is 2 pushes. Okay, and that covers me only so much ground. If my opponent is there for me, that's fine. Or if I can reach him, that's fine. If he starts to move out, I might need to add a little bit to gain ground on him. So from here, after the first step, jab, that back leg is going to come in closer. And then jab again off of that step. So it basically looks like this. As I jab, instead of moving my back foot the normal distance to throw another jab, I'll move it in almost all the way. Right here. See how I'm a little bit closer to my back leg instead of here. I step in on my stance, and then I have it closer. And then from here, I'm closer to my opponent, I push off and cover more ground. And I can cover more ground that way than using my typical short double jab. From here, I'm going is it gives you a brief moment to move your head if when you go in on your first jab, your opponent throws at you right away. So as I come in, I can dip as soon as I throw that shot. I throw the shot, I throw the shot, and then I dip, I slip, and then I come in with my second shot. I throw the shot, slip, and then I come in with my second shot. Alright, a little bit slower motion. I throw the shot, I slip with this back leg tight to me, and then I can step forward, boom, boom, cover more ground, and throw some more shots. So again, a little bit quicker. Get that back leg and pull it in. Quick with the back leg. Shovel step. Shovel step with the back leg to gain ground on your opponent. One more time slow. I can dip right here, quickly. Okay, so incorporate that shovel step every now and then. Give your opponent the false sense that you're far away from him with short jabs. And after you throw your first jab, throw it towards the gloves just to get them busy. Pull in that shovel step and drive right into your opponent. So next we're going to go over a step off to the right, and this is often deemed as one of the more advanced components of footwork, but I don't really want you to think of it as any big deal, because after you do this step off, all you're really doing is just coming back to the basic set position that you need to be in to throw your punches. Just like when you do lateral motion, you have to come back to your set position. But what the step off does is it gives you a little bit of space to move to your right, allows you to move to your right and control the distance to either reset to come in for an attack or to stay away from danger. So here I am, I'm in on my opponent. To do this step off, I'm going to take my left foot, bring it back. Okay, I can bring it back here, bring it back here. Then I'm going to step over with my right foot and then re-step back in with my left. That's basically how it goes. So I'm making almost like a little square shape or a C shape. I step back, over, and then back in. And then I can attack. Now I'm on the right side. I step back, over, and then back in. The key to controlling distance on the step is what you do with the right foot. So if I step back, what I do with this right foot is going to determine everything. I can either step over, straight across, that keeps me the same distance away. I can step in a little bit, and that gets me closer. Or from the step, I can step out, and that gets me further. Okay? And it all depends on what you want to do. So if I'm here, I want to reset the same distance. I move, boom, 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 and I'm at the same distance I can come in with an attack. Okay? My opponent's going to move in on me, and then he's going to move out, or he's going to change angles. I can step and come in closer, boom, boom, and set up something else if I want. Get a little bit closer to your opponent. And the other thing that you can do, obviously, is once you step, get a little bit more space and move back. Okay? The other thing about this step off is it's really just a gateway to lateral motion. As I step back, I can move a couple times. It's just like the lateral motion we did earlier. I'm here in front of my opponent, step up, reset, boom, boom, boom. Okay? Then I can do what I want. Or I can make a move off this step off. I step out, make a move, step out, just keep busy, keep controlling the distance. Okay, so with this step off, set up attacks, move in on your opponent, step off, create an angle, or when your opponent comes in on you, cover, boom, when you want to get to a safe spot, step off and step back in. Control the distance by how you set your right foot. So what we're going to go over next is a shift walk, and it's one of the boxing footwork techniques that really allows you to move in on your opponent, keep your balance, apply the pressure, break the rhythm and apply the pressure again, and allow you to sort of set up angles and continue to apply pressure and move in and out. It also allows you to move your head while you're moving in on your opponent to sort of stay defensive while keeping the pressure on. And this technique isn't really that fancy, but you won't see it a lot in many gyms. A lot of gyms are focused on shifting in and out type footwork, or some of the other basic sliding in and out and moving side to side. And so I think that adding this type of footwork will really benefit your game. And so we're going to go over the basic foundation of the technique, how to use it, moving in and out, side to side, and how to apply pressure and break the rhythm and get that next level up on your opponent. Okay, so just to go over this, we're going to go over it really slow so that you can train it and get the feel for it. And then we're going to go over it in fast motion with techniques. And this is basically all you're doing. With the shift walk, is you're taking a step and you're shifting your weight to that step. So you shift and step, and you're moving in on your opponent, shifting your weight, shifting your weight, shifting your weight. Okay? And if I go back here, I can slip by tilting, sort of a tilt, slip. Some guys like this tilt slip. I feel comfortable with this. Okay? Or you can do a twist, 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 twist. Getting your head out of the center and moving in on your opponent. And this looks kind of funny. It almost looks like it's not really a big deal. But what it does is it allows you to set up your next shot by the way you shift the weight, and allows you to keep the pressure on your opponent as you move in. So typically when I move in, I'm stuck. After I throw my combo, if I want to go, I have to go again. But with this, you're going to move in on your opponent. You can stop anytime you want to move your head. You can throw punches. I can throw punches as I go in and then work this shift walk to keep the pressure on. The other thing that it does is, as I'm doing this shift walk, I'm able to control the distance. I can stay just on the edge of my opponent's firing range, just on the outside, or just on the inside by controlling the distance. I can go slow, or I can pick it up and go fast. Okay? And you're going to work your punching and your techniques and head movement in between this sort of shift walk. And we're going to go over a demonstration of that. One concept that you should be fully aware of with your boxing footwork and your boxing in general is the ability to stop on a dime. And when you move towards an opponent, when you get aggressive and you're going in for the attack, you need to have the ability to stop right on a dime, either step out or move to the right or left. What happens is if you don't have this ability, you crowd yourself in your punches. You move into your opponent, you don't stop exactly where you need to be, and you tumble in an extra couple inches, that extra half step, and your punches are all of a sudden smothered. You're not able to get as much off as you want. The other thing that happens too is as you move into an opponent, sometimes they move into you, or as you move into them, they step out on the angle. And if you don't have the ability, which is more like a conditioned ability, if you don't have the ability to stop on a dime and take that turn and move out, then you're going to find yourself always struggling to get that clean shot on your opponent. So I'm going to demonstrate quickly how you can apply this concept, or how you should think of it. And basically when you're training, you should always have this stop on a dime concept in the front of your mind. Okay, so stopping on the dime, really it comes all down to the front foot. If I step in, I need to be able to move and react. If I step in, I can turn right out. Or if I'm chasing down my opponent, stop and reset. I chase down my opponent, I stop and turn out. Step up to the right side. As long as I have the ability, stop on that dime. Come forward. Okay? Keep working that pressure off the front foot. You come in with it, whatever combo, boom. You can stay put if you want, or step out, or spin out to the left. But always, when you're working on the bag, working in your shadow boxing, think about that front foot. You gotta stop right on the dime so that you don't smother your opponent, and you can get that quick turnout, create the angle, and get the right distance that you need. So one thing that you're going to want to do in your boxing is create space between you and your opponent. And you don't always want to have to spend a lot of energy to create space, and you don't always want to move in the same way that your opponent knows where you're going. So a couple coy tricks, coy, sneaky tactics to use to create space and kind of keep your opponent guessing are to switch up your feet, southpaw, or do this little step back to the left. So one that I used to like to use a lot is take this left foot and step it back. I take this left foot and step it back, I step it back, and I step the right foot back, and sort of create space. So here I am, so instead of just moving my traditional way back or trying to go over here, I'm going to step back and get that left ankle, step back, 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 okay? And then from there I can do whatever I want. Step back, back, move this way, move back. Just kind of keep your opponent thinking and guessing. Once you spar and train a lot, you're going to get an instinct for when your opponent wants to pounce. And you always want to either hit him right when he's about to get that feeling, or kill it so that he thinks, oh, I got to adjust myself to get a little bit closer. So again, this one technique I used to like to use to the left, take a little step back. If you want, you can switch it up from here. Take this step back, move to the left, classic. Take that step back and move the right leg back. Left leg back, right leg back. Create a little bit of space. Another way you can do this to the right is by switching off and spinning out. So here I am. So if I want to go to the right, take a little step with my right leg and spin out and spin back. Okay, just basically switch up. Here I am, I show my opponent something new. Okay, makes them think just for a split second. I come back, boom, boom, then you can come in with your combination, reset, do whatever you want. Your opponent's about to attack, he's walking you down, spin out, and then you step out to the side. Again, here you are, right? Spin out, spin back, switch. Okay, and then do whatever you gotta do. Okay, here you are, you want to create a little bit of space, spin out, maybe you can throw a jab, pop back, okay? Spin out, back. Okay, so when you find yourself in a position in the middle of the fight, you want to mix things up a little bit, you want to keep your opponent guessing, create a little bit of space, use these techniques, coming out to the left or spinning out to the right. Okay, so now on to conditioning and training your footwork. And personally, from my experience, there's a lot of training and conditioning you can do, burpees and jump squats and weight training. But specifically for your footwork, to improve your footwork, there are a couple things that you need to keep in mind. You need to have the springiness or the elasticity so that you can move quickly and easily and efficiently. And that's very important. And the other thing that you need is you need your legs to be able to transition your body weight, to carry your body weight smoothly through space, left, right, and side to side. And there are a couple drills that I like to do for that. One of the drills I like to use for conditioning yourself to be able to support your own body weight and move your own body weight is punch hops. And I'm going to demonstrate punch hops right here. And basically what you're going to do for punch hops is you're going to do sets of 30 seconds. So you start off with 5 sets of 30 seconds, build your way up to 10 sets of 30 seconds, with about like a 30-second break or so. You have to gauge it based on your conditioning. Okay, so we'll demonstrate the punch hop. So another drill that I like to work in conditioning my footwork is a pendulum step mixed in with 180 turns. Now, if you can do a 180 turn, you can do a quarter turn, no problem. So basically you're working in this, you're working your springiness with your pendulum step, and you're working your mobility going both ways. And you can do this as an orthodox or a southpaw. And when you train, I recommend you do this drill for at least 1 round, maybe 2. Just repeat this and work it until your body becomes accustomed to it. So when training yourself for your footwork, conditioning yourself for your footwork in your regular boxing workouts, it's important to spend some time focusing on your boxing footwork. So when you come into the gym, you can do your usual warm up, loosen up, skip rope, whatever your skip rope routine is, and then you're going to get into your footwork. And the way I used to do it is at least one day of the week, 1 of 6 training days, I'd spend 15 to 20 minutes just working on my footwork. So I'd get warmed up, get ready, put my wraps on, hop in the ring, and go let the buzzer go for 4 or 5 rounds straight, just working on my footwork. Start off easy pace, get used to all the techniques, get used to all the moves, try to transition them, connect them, and work them with different techniques. Add a little bit of head movement to that. Don't be so concerned about your punching, but head movement and defense is all part of your footwork. Now, footwork is part of everything you do in boxing. It's part of your sparring, it's part of your fighting, it's part of your bag work, it's part of your shadow boxing. So, you're always working your footwork. Unless you have, unless you're doing a punch-out drill or you're working on the speed bag, then your footwork sort of takes a back seat. So you want to make sure that whatever you're doing, your footwork is incorporated into each aspect of your training. So aside from the one day a week, 2 days a week with the 15 to 20 minute straight session of footwork, every time you come in the gym, you're going to do 4 or 5 rounds of shadow boxing. At least one of those rounds you want to dedicate to footwork. Get yourself warmed up, get yourself used to the feel of your feet, try different stuff and discover different stuff. Another thing that's very important is take away from your sparring, take away lessons you learn from your sparring. Think about that time you got in on that opponent and he might have caught you with a counter shot to the body while he was on the ropes and I should have stepped off there. Or think about the guy who likes to roll the shoulder and maybe you're going to step off on the inside and catch him with an uppercut. You got to think about how you're going to use your footwork in scenarios, because ultimately all these drills really are just tools. They're just ABCs, and it's up to you to take them and apply them to the scenarios that you face in the gym and face in fighting and face in the ring. So take your boxing footwork serious, condition it, and I was going to give you a little demo of how I would train it in the gym when you go into the gym, so you get a little chance to kind of see the pace and intensity of how I think you should be training your boxing footwork. So this covers a comprehensive list of boxing tools and techniques that you can apply and incorporate in your arsenal. And hopefully you can train these steadily and work them and get them to be a natural part of your game and take you to that next level. We're all looking to be the best fighters, the best athletes we can be, and you're not going to get there in one day or just even a year. You got to think to where your maximum potential is. So slowly grind away at that and try to realize the best athlete inside you. Try to get to the level where you're at the best you can possibly be. We're all trying to work towards that. And part of the key with that is staying motivated. I have different ways that I try to stay motivated. Sometimes it's watching a professional fight on TV and pretending I'm Roy Jones, pretending I'm Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao, just trying to get into that groove of being that person. And for you, maybe from your friends or your family, or maybe just a dream that you have of becoming a champion or winning a title. But you got to constantly think of what gets you motivated and feel that, and get yourself out to the gym and be as steady and consistent as you can. And as well, when working that, you're going to have to adapt and change your style of motivation. Your moods will change and your feelings will change, and you always have to be constantly on top of yourself. So hopefully this type of insight, and with the tools and techniques of boxing footwork and other tools you have in your arsenal, it gives you that extra step to become the best boxer you can be. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Jason Van Veldhuizen. I'm going to get back to business over here.